Good afternoon, we're at Thrum Hall in Halifax for this Stones Bitter Championship game between Halifax and Warrington. The teams for today's game: Halifax at 1, Graham Eady; 2, Eddie Riddlesden; at 3, Grant Ricks; 4, Colin Whitfield; 5, Wilf George; at 6, Chris Anderson; 7, Gary Stevens; 8, Roy Dickinson; 9, Seamus McCallion; 10 is Keith Neller; 11, Neil James; 12 is Paul Dixon; and 13, Neil Haig. Substitutes for Halifax are Steve Smith and Brian Juliff. The Warrington side: at 1, Brian Johnson; 2, Kevin Meadows; 3, Paul Cullen; 4, Steve Peters; 5, Rick Thackeray; at 6, Ken Kelly; 7, Andy Gregory; at 8, Les Boyd; 9, Carl Webb; 10 is Kevin Tamati; 11, Bob Jackson; 12, Mark Roberts; and 13, Mike Gregory. Substitutes for Warrington are Paul Bishop and Billy McGinty. The referee is Mr Berry of Dewsbury. His judge judges Mr Reid and Mr Norbury, and it'll be Warrington who will get the game underway, playing from right to left in the white jerseys with the primrose and blue band. Halifax in the blue and white hoop shirts and white shorts, and it'll be Andy Gregory who will get things started, as Mr Berry first of all is going over to this near touchline. Having a word with somebody on the bench. Finally runs over. Sporting the new referee's strip. And he checks with his two linesmen, and Andy Gregory gets this Stones Bitter Championship game underway. Nice stop there by Keith Neller, and Neller will run forward. He's stopped by Cullen, Gregory and Ken Kelly. Seamus McCallion's acting halfback, hands it on to Roy Dickinson. Dickinson charges in. McCallion, Stevens kicks downfield, looks a good one, bounces in favour of Warrington. Brian Johnson comes over, takes it, will move forward, faced by Riddlesden, and is brought down with assistance of James. Steve Peters goes up to halfback, sends it on to Bob Jackson. Jackson will charge forward. Carl Webb's acting halfback, sends it on to Les Boyd. Boyd charges forward, hands the ball to Tamati. Tamati on to Ken Kelly. Ken Kelly straightens up, looking for the gap. Stopped by McCallion. Tamati once more onto Andy Gregory. Gregory swings it out. Carl Webb. Tamati's acting halfback. Sends it on to Andy Gregory. Gregory dummies, moves forward. 6 tackle then for Warrington. Goes back this time. Kick by Jackson. Infield. Riddlesden goes for it, takes it safely, will move forward, and he's caught by the legs by Mark Roberts. Gary Stevens, Wilf George, Seamus McCallion acting halfback onto Neller. Neller will move forward. Ball goes loose, picked up by Riddlesden. Riddlesden moves forward, he's brought down by Rick Thackeray, along with Steve Peters. McCallion, Stevens onto Dickinson. Dickinson will move forward. Good tackle from Bob Jackson, along with Carl Webb. McCallion once more, sends it on. Haig, Anderson over on that far side. Whitfield, he got the ball away. Halifax man's finally held, 6th tackle. Still deep in the Halifax half. Here's Whitfield, kicks downfield. Brian Johnson goes for it, but the ball goes into touch over on that far side for the first scrum of the afternoon. About 10 yards inside the Warrington half, over on that far side. Andy Gregory will put the ball in. Front rows meet, Gregory feeds, Halifax in possession. Stevens, Anderson. Anderson moves forward. Stevens, this time it's James. James charging forward, good run here from James. Fine stop by Roberts and Jackson. Goes on to Stevens. Stevens long pass this time. Dixon, ball goes loose, still loose. And Halifax back in possession. McCallion to Stevens. Long pass. Haig. Ricks this time, making his debut here at Thrum Hall for the Australian. He's dumped to the floor. And Warrington penalised by Mr. Berry for dumping. Gives Halifax a chance to open the scoring. And the referee calling over Andy Gregory. Also had a word with Les Boyd, linesman from that far side. Came onto the pitch, but the decision still stands. Free kick to Halifax. So Colin Whitfield. Try and sets Halifax up. And the first points of the afternoon, a goal from Colin Whitfield makes it Halifax 2, Warrington 0. Four minutes gone. 2-0, Halifax lead, a goal from Colin Whitfield. Andy Gregory then restarts. Colin Whitfield takes it and moves forward, stopped by Paul Cullen. McCallion is acting half-back. Nello. This time it's Dickinson. Seamus McCallion acting half-back once more. Les Boyd pinches the ball, Mark Roberts has it, Warrington back in possession. Carl Webb has to go himself, trying to play the ball, moves forward. Andy Gregory acting half-back, sends it on to Tamati. Tamati will move forward. And he's pushed back. Good defence from Halifax. 4 Halifax players pushing Kevin Tamati back. Webb, Ken Kelly, Andy Gregory, on to Mike Gregory, juggles with it. Ball goes loose. James now for Halifax. He's brought down in the middle of the park by Cullen. Penalty to Halifax. Paul Cullen not allowing James to get up in the tackle. So Colin Whitfield with the kick for touch, puts it safely in over on that far side to set Halifax now up on the attack. McCallion goes to take the second part of the penalty. Taps it to Stevens. Stevens onto Anderson. Anderson slip pass onto Dickinson. Dickinson not wiring through. McCallion sends it left. Dickinson charges forward. Seamus McCallion onto Chris Anderson. Anderson, Ricks gets his pass away to James. James still going, gets out to Whitfield. Whitfield cuts back inside, caught by Thackeray. James goes himself trying to play the ball, moves forward, stopped by Peters. McCallion, Stevens, Nello, and ball goes loose. Ken Kelly. And he dives on it gratefully, and Warrington back in possession, deep inside their own 25. And offside against Colin Whitfield. Gives Warrington a free kick. Andy Gregory taking over the kicking this afternoon. Paul Bishop on the subs bench. It's Les Boyd, he'll come first receiver into charging. Andy Gregory, Kevin Tamati looking to get the ball away, but 3 Halifax players stop him. Carl Webb's acting half-back, sends it on to Les Boyd. Boyd will charge forward, turns in the tackle, throws a loose ball out. Halifax back in possession now. Over on that far side, Wilf George. And Wilf George caught by Meadows. Grant Ricks still going. Going right this time. Haig, Anderson stops, goes himself. Robertson, Boyd are there. McCallion, Stevens. This time it's Dickinson. Dickinson gets it back to Whitfield. Ball goes loose. Mark Roberts has it. He's brought down just outside his own 25. Ken Kelly out to Tamati into Mike Gregory. Webb goes himself on to play the ball. Straightens up, makes a few yards before he's brought down. Ken Kelly sends it on to Bob Jackson. Jackson turns in the tackle, gets it back to Carl Webb. Carl Webb straightens up, gets the ball away to Tamati onto Meadows. Meadows now moving forward. He's brought down by Wilf George. Good move though from Warrington. Mike Gregory, Ken Kelly, Andy Gregory. Les Boyd charging forward, looking for the gap, turns in the tackle, gets the ball back. This time it's Mike Gregory going straight, Mike Gregory still going. He's brought down on the Halifax 25, 6th tackle. Ken Kelly to Andy Gregory, little kick through, looks a good kick. And the scrum down, difficult to see from our position what happened in that far corner. So scrum down, a couple of yards from the Halifax line. Andy Gregory will put the ball in after putting in that telling kick, but it looks like Halifax are in possession. Now it's Riddleston on this touchline. Riddleston charging forward, he's going down. Johnson's coming over and tackles him well. Good tackle from Brian Johnson as Riddleston was tearing down this touchline. Halifax now moving forward, he goes on. Dixon still going, gets on to Riddleston's going down this near touchline. Johnson's in there again, he's in touch. Andy Gregory also in there with Mark Roberts, but referee Berry signifies a forward pass. But a couple of good runs there from Eddie Riddleston. Play midway inside the Warrington half now with a scrum down. Scrum at the moment, turning all ways, not straight at all. Referee Berry tells both packs to get up, and they pack down once more. Gregory feeds, Warrington in possession. Mike Gregory gratefully dives on the ball. Andy Gregory quick to get things going for Warrington. He'll move forward, sends it out to Ken Kelly. Ken Kelly brings in Johnson, and that is a loose pass. Nearly an interception. 6 more tackles for Warrington, and Wilf George there with a whisker of going through there for Halifax. That was Kevin Meadows. Cullen, short pass on to Webb. Paul Cullen this time, sends it on to Kevin Tamati. Tamati makes play inside the Halifax half. Webb on to Andy Gregory, but can't take the pass. Halifax back in possession. Stevens, James now will move forward. Stops, but gets away to Ricks. Ricks now moving through. Kicks ahead, it's going to be a chase here. Ricks, Peters and Thackeray. Ball bouncing all over the place. It's a race. Ricks and Thackeray and Ricks get there. Ball goes loose. And ball goes dead. But Warrington have a tap from their own 25. Gregory quick to get things going. Is the applause still ring round for Grant Ricks, the Australian centre. This time it's Boyd. Boyd will charge forward, breaks 2 tackles to charge through. Still going, makes it to the halfway line. Good run there from Les Boyd. Ken Kelly this time sends it outright to Andy Gregory. Gregory dummies, cuts inside 2 players and moves forward out to Ken Kelly. Ken Kelly looking to beat the fullback. Good tackle though by Graham Eady. Andy Gregory this time, short pass, it goes loose, Mark Roberts picks it up, hands it on to Brian Johnson. Johnson doing close to the gap, Johnson going through, beats another one, Johnson still going, gets his pass away, but goes into touch over on that far side. So, very entertaining 5 minutes or so there, both teams mounting good attacks, and that Brian Johnson pass just going out of play over on that far side. So scrum down just inside the Halifax 25, Gary Stevens to put the ball in. Once again, the scrum's not to the liking of Mr. Beddy. As the ball goes in and feeding there against Stevens, we saw it from our position straight into the Halifax second row, gives Warrington a chance to edge closer to that Halifax line. And Andy Gregory with the ball. Puts the ball into touch over on that far side and sets now Warrington up on the attack. Carl Webb will take it. When we have a ball, we finally get one. 3 Warrington players charging, it's on to Les Boyd over that far side, gets on to Meadows, Meadows into the corner. But just in touch. Pushed into touch as Meadows was going in, over in that far corner. And the result is scrum down. Stevens feeds, Halifax in possession, Stevens goes blindside, Edie. Stevens onto Dickinson, Dickinson moving straight. This time it goes on to Dixon, Dixon going straight through the middle, good run here from Dixon, Gregory hands onto his shirt and finally brings him down with the assistance of Mark Roberts. Long pass this time, Haig straightens up. Seamus McCallion's acting halfback onto Stevens, Stevens kicks downfield. A good kick from Gary Stevens, bouncing though infield. Brian Johnson will pick it up deep inside his own half. He's stopped by Riddleston. This time it's Rick Thackeray coming away with it. Ken Kelly, Mark Roberts on this near touch line. Difficult to say from our position. Bob Jackson takes it and moves forward. Carl Webb's acting halfback, short one onto Les Boyd, Boyd brings in Mike Gregory, Gregory charging through, Mike Gregory still going. Good tackle from Edie and Ken Kelly coming up, but he was on his wrong side. Sixth tackle, Andy Gregory moving forward. Kicks downfield, it's got to be a chase for the ball, but ball goes dead. And a tap for Halifax from their own 25. It's Halifax 2, Warrington 0. Goal from Colin Whitfield in the 4th minute, the only score on the board so far. Dickinson will take it. He'll charge forward. Seamus McCallion is acting halfback, sends it on to Dixon. McCallion, Stevens brings in James, James charging forward, still going, good run here from James, beat a couple of tackles and still going. Good run there from Neil James. Chris Anderson on to Stevens, Stevens kicks downfield, that's a good kick. Good kick from Gary Stevens. The play goes back inside the Warrington 25 for the scrum down. Gregory then will feed. Referee Bay not happy with the scrum. Gregory feeds, ball goes in, Halifax in possession with Stevens. Stevens now moving forward, gets his pass into Edie. Edie's brought down. Stevens once more, sends it out this time with Stevens onto Haig. Haig moving forward onto Ricks, Ricks charging forward, ball goes loose. And that is a knock-on by Ricks. And another scrum down. Once again, the scrum turning and wheeling. That goes where it should be. Gregory puts the ball in. Halifax in possession once more. Edie still going. Still going. By being pushed back. Referee tells Warrington players to get away. Goes out this time. Goes behind Haig. Picked up by Anderson. On for Ricks. Ricks will move forward. Just inside the Warrington 25. Halifax pressing. Goes out over on that far side to Dixon. Dixon charges through, the ball goes loose, picked up by Anderson. Anderson, but a knock on. Gregory then will feed. Referee Berry once again not happy with these scrums. They're turning and wheeling all over the place finally. Get back where they should be. Two strong packs this afternoon. So it goes in from Gregory. Penalty to Warrington. Foot up in the scrum from Halifax. Andy Gregory then with the kick for touch. It's a good one. Carweb will take it, hands it on to Tamati. Tamati charges forward. Carweb's acting halfback, sends it on to Gregory. Gregory brings in Les Boyd. Boyd gets the ball away to Mike Gregory. Gregory moving forward, breaks a couple of tackles. Gregory now storming over in that far corner, cuts inside. Gregory still going, and the ball goes loose. Wilf George will pick it up, and he's brought down. Good run over from Mike Gregory. Stevens, Haig. Goes out this time to Dickinson. Dickinson will move forward. Gets the ball away. And a knock on. And another scrum down. Once again, these scrums all over the place at the moment. Gregory puts the ball in. And looks like Halifax are in possession once more. Gary Stevens goes himself on the play of the ball. Clears the halfway 25-yard line before he's brought down. Played back this time to Anderson. Anderson charging forward. Good tackle coming in there. Bob Jackson. Dickinson back to Dixon. Dixon gets the ball away to Whitfield. McCallion. Good run here, Nello. Sixth tackle then for Halifax. Goes on to Gary Stevens. Stevens a high kick. Ryan Johnson goes for it. They want to let it bounce. Picked up by James. James moves across field. James still going. That's a good kick. It's a chase for the ball. And the ball goes dead. So a tap from the Warrington 25. Which Gregory takes and hands on to Tamati. Tamati moves forward. Breaks a couple of tackles and still goes. Gets the ball away to Andy Gregory. Gregory now moving forward. Great run here from Gregory. Brings in Meadows, but he can't take the pass. Meadows there. If he had took that pass, he would have had a clear run to the line. As it is, it's a scrum down. Once again, these scrums not to the liking of the referee. Ball goes in. Once again, Halifax in possession. It's a loose pass. Chris Anderson to Gary Stevens. Stevens feed it. He's tackled by Jackson and Carl Webb. Dickinson will move forward. Gets the ball back to Stevens. Stevens stopped by Peters. McCallion. Dixon. He's stopped on this near touchline. Haig, long pass to Anderson. Anderson moves forward, gets his pass away to James. James caught by Cullen, gets it away to Ricks. Whitfield. Stevens kicks downfield. Meadows goes back for it, but it goes into touch. Deep inside the Warrington 25, 4-0 scrum down. Gregory feeds. Warrington looks like they're in possession with Mike Gregory. And it's Andy Gregory who goes on to play the ball, hands it on to Mark Roberts. Roberts charges forward. He's dumped to the floor. Andy Gregory. Kelly brings in Webb. And Webb's well tackled on the 25. Ken Kelly goes himself, brings in Boyd back to Tamati, high tackle there, Gregory, a quick pass, taken by Peters dummies, Peters still going. Thackeray, Gregory, Ken Kelly, onto Mike Gregory to Cullen, ball goes behind him. But to knock on and a scrum down. Stevenson puts the ball in, Andy Gregory has it, goes round the scrum. Gregory still going out to Cullen. Cullen tackled by Wilf George. Andy Gregory, Kevin Meadows goes across field, straightens up. Andy Gregory's acting half-back. Onto Boyd turns in the tackle, throws a pass out. Kelly did well to take it, handed it on to Mark Roberts. Mark Roberts moves forward. Webb, Gregory moving forward, looking for the gap, brings in Tamati, he's brought down inside the Halifax 25. Andy Gregory once more goes himself, gets a long pass out to Cullen moving forward. He's stopped over on that far side, 6th tackle then for Warrington. Gregory, little chip, goes high. And taken by Stevens for a tap from the 25 for Halifax. So just over 10 minutes left in the first half, which has seen only 2 points scored, 1 goal from Colin Whitfield, making it Halifax 2, Warrington 0. At the moment, Halifax in possession inside their own half. Chris Anderson now moves forward, breaks a couple of tackles, but it was a good tackle from Mark Roberts to bring him down. Dixon charges through, brought down by Peters and Jackson. Riddleston goes himself. Peters in the tackle once more with Mark Roberts. McCallion. Stevens, once again the kick coming in from Stevens. Meadows takes it safely, will move forward. Goes across field, skips 2 tackles, Meadows still going. Clears his lines well. Andy Gregory, dummies, goes himself. Swings it out to Ken Kelly. Ken Kelly onto Peters, he juggles with it, keeps hold. Andy Gregory, Les Boyd, Boyd charges in. Gets the ball back, Peters, Mike Gregory. Sends it back to Tamati. Tamati now charging forward. Still Kevin Tamati kicks across field. Chase for the ball now between Johnson and Ricks. It's going to be a chase. Both are charging for it. And he finally goes into touch over on that far side. Good kick there from Tamati. So Brian Johnson was on his right. He knew he couldn't pass. He decided to kick. And it was a chase between Johnson and Ricks. And the ball bobbled into touch near the corner flag for the scrum down. Stevens this time will feed. The scrums once again pushing each other. Penalty to Warrington. Talking from somebody in the Halifax team gives Warrington a chance. And Gregory will tap it. Bob Jackson will charge forward. Andy Gregory, Tamati, Gregory. Ball goes in for Mark Roberts. And Mark Roberts is in. Lovely move there for Warrington. And it's Mark Roberts who charges over to set Warrington into the lead. A lovely run around move. Andy Gregory's pass finally set it up for Mark Roberts to go over. And Warrington take the lead at 4 points to 2. And it's Bob Jackson who looks like he's taking the goal kicks. So Bob Jackson, surprisingly, taking the goal kicks. But Warrington over on that far side, 25 yards out. No doubt must have been in practice. Bob Jackson then comes up, high kick, but will drop short and just go wide, so it stays at Halifax 2 points, Warrington 4.
You're all having a goal kicking this season. You're on Esford back, don't we?
So Halifax to restart. Warrington leading 4 points to 2. Graham Eady it is who restarts, and Halifax offside over on that far side. The forward was crossing the halfway line before the kick was taken. And Warrington have another free kick from the centre spot. Gregory quick to get things going with Les Boyd. Boyd charging forward. Andy Gregory is acting half-back, offside there, again. But this is talking. That gives Halifax an extra 10 yards. Halifax a free kick. And Colin Whitfield will try and tie the scores with this long goal kick. And the ball falls over, which Mr. Berry stops the clock. and restarts it. As Colin Whitfield prepares to take this penalty kick for Halifax. Whitfield then comes up, but goes over, just about. A low kick from Whitfield, but it went over. That makes it Halifax 4, Warrington 4. So Andy Gregory, it is who restarts. Ball bouncing, picked up by Eady, and Eady charges forward, stopped by Kelly and Cullen. Anderson to Stevens. Stevens is stopped by Steve Peters. McCallion goes himself, stopped by Peters once more. Gary Stevens out to Dickinson. Dickinson stopped by Mike Gregory and Mark Roberts. Goes back this time to Stevens. Stevens kicks downfield. Brian Johnson goes for it. It bounces up for him and he takes it safely. Brian Johnson now moves forward. Knocks off one man, straightens up, still going. This time it's Kevin Meadows, goes himself on the play of the ball. Makes good yards before he's brought down. Tamati onto Gregory. Ken Kelly looking for the gap and finds it. Kelly moving forward. Just caught by McCallion as he was going through. Penalty to Warrington. McCallion not letting Kelly play the ball. So Andy Gregory with the kick for touch. It's a good one. Sets Warrington up on the attack. Kelly takes it to Webb. Gregory running around with Kelly. Long pass brings in Mark Roberts charging forward. Ken Kelly goes to acting halfback. Sends it out right with Gregory. Gregory cuts inside. He's caught. Tamati goes right. Gets his pass away to Cullen. The ball goes loose. And it's Halifax who are in possession with Anderson. Gary Stevens goes back left, hands it on to Haig. Haig, a wild pass. James still going, and James has beat three players there, and he's only got Johnson to beat. And he gets his pass away to George, and George is moving forward. And it was a good tackle from Kevin Meadows. Gary Stevens this time moving forward. Stevens still going, and sets Halifax up on the attack inside the 1-2-25. It's McCallion who sends it out. Nella can't. This time it's Haig. Haig onto Anderson. Anderson, it's a pass and the ball goes loose. Must be a knock on, but what a mischance there. This time it was Colin Whitfield who couldn't take the pass. And the referee stops the clock for an injury to Steve Peters, it looks like. As Halifax missed a chance there to go into the lead. Whitfield just couldn't take the pass. So, Steve Peters receiving treatment. With 3 minutes remaining in this first half, which sees the score at Halifax 4, Warrington 4. So an important scrum with just a couple of minutes remaining. Gary Stevens must be offside there, but Warrington are in possession. Andy Gregory goes himself on the play of the ball, goes across field. Kelly, Mike Gregory. Gregory charges forward, makes it to the 25 before he's brought down. Ken Kelly sends it out to Mark Roberts. Mark Roberts is stopped by James and Neil Haig. Ken Kelly onto Boyd. Boyd, short pass into Jackson. Jackson. Peters. Gregory. Little kick hits Stevens, and Stevens is back on it. Haig this time to Ricks. He tripped over his own man. So a couple of minutes now remain. Stevens goes himself. He's stopped in midfield. The score now could be very decisive indeed with the score 4-4. Ball looked to have been knocked on there. McCallion, Anderson, a long pass out, taken by Edie. Edie will move forward, stopped by Peters and Thackeray. Dixon kicks forward and that goes straight out of play and ball back. Once again the scrum's turning and wheeling all over the place. And looks like the scrum will be told to part. The front rows meet once more. And the scrum's moving all over the place, and Mr. Bennett now will send the scrums over to where it should have been in the first place. Gregory puts the ball in and is penalised for feeding. Boyd having a word with Mr. Bennett. Anderson puts the ball into touch now to set Halifax up on the attack in the last minutes of the first half. McCallion taps it onto Stevens. Stevens to Dickinson. Dickinson will drive forward. Gary Stevens, that's a half-back, goes himself on the play of the ball, pass on to James, James charging forward onto Stevens, Stevens is caught, the ball goes loose, and finally it's Kevin Tamatu who comes away with him for Warrington, he's charging forward, and clearing the lines, and a little argument there after the play of the ball. Andy Gregory is going to be called over by the referee, and a penalty given to Halifax, and off the ball incident. Colin Whitfield could put Halifax in the lead here in the last seconds of the first half. So Whitfield, chance to set Halifax into the lead, but he hooks it and goes right across, and it's taken by Kevin Meadows, who'll move forward, and Meadows is still going. And in fact there goes the half-time hooter, a very tough and close first half, just 8 points scored altogether. It was Colin Whitfield opened the scoring with a goal to make it 2-0. A try then from Mark Roberts put Warrington in the lead at 4-2. Another goal from Colin Whitfield makes the half-time score here at Thrum Hall in Halifax. Halifax 4, Warrington 4. So as the teams come on for this second half, with the score standing at Halifax 4, Warrington 4. Warrington have made both substitutions, Paul Bishop and Billy McGinty both on the field. Looks as if Paul Cullen, Steve Peters is the one who has left the field. And Billy McGinty has come on for Mark Roberts. So Warrington making both substitutions at the start of the second half. Bishop is on for Peters and McGinty is on for Mark Roberts. Halifax, it looks like the side that finished the first half with the scores level at Halifax 4, Warrington 4, and Halifax will start the second half in the shape of a Graham Eady. Positions the ball Australian style and kicks deep. Goes past Brian Johnson, picks it up and hands it on to Rick Thackeray. Rick Thackeray will move forward. He's caught. Plays it to himself, moves forward, clears his 25, the ball goes loose, and then Riddleston has it now, moving across field. Riddleston straightens up, beats 2 tackles, still going. Gets it away to McCallion. McCallion to Anderson. Anderson goes back right. Haig, that's a good pass. And it's finally on the burst comes Graham Eady. Eady still going. At the start of the second half, it's Halifax who are on the attack. McCallion out to Anderson. Haig brings in Dixon. Dixon charging forward. Goes out this time to Neil Haig. Haig, short pass on Nella. Nella's stopped. Trying to play the ball, it's McCallion. McCallion, he's dumped at the floor. 6 tackle for Halifax, just a couple of yards short of the Warrington line. Goes back to Colin Whitfield, lines a drop goal up, and it's through. And it's Halifax 5, Warrington 4. A drop goal from Colin Whitfield at the start of the second half. Makes it 5-4. So Paul Bishop on his substitute in this second half. And Graham Eady takes it and running strong and hard. He's stopped by McGinty. Anderson, Dixon, dummies, straightens up. Ricks goes himself trying to play the ball, moves forward. Gary Stevens, James, he's stopped in the middle of the field, midway inside his own half. McCallion to Stevens, Stevens lines up a kick, goes downfield. Brian Johnson and Rick Thackeray both go for it. It looks a good kick and bounces over Rick Thackeray as he went for it. A little bit of luck there favouring Gary Stevens' kick as it bounced awkwardly for Rick Thackeray who went to take it. So scrum just inside the Warrington 25 once again, and fighting now in the scrum. And full scale fights. After that scrum had formed. And the referee is going to call over Dickinson and Anderson of Halifax. Warrington have the penalty. Dickinson there headbutting in the scrum. Gives the penalty to Warrington, and Paul Bishop has it left-footed over on that far side. It's a good kick from Bishop. Takes play to just inside the Halifax half. Carl Webb takes it, hands it on to Bob Jackson. Bob Jackson charges forward. Bishop. Boyd looking for the gap and just couldn't break the tackle Webb. Long pass out to Andy Gregory. Gregory onto Mike Gregory. Oh, high tackle there as Mike Gregory was going through. So Mike Gregory there was bursting through and a very high tackle as he was chasing through. Referee having a word. And Warrington will have a penalty there as James stiff-armed Mike Gregory as he was charging forward. Mike Gregory returns to his feet. And Bishop puts the ball into touch to set Warrington now up on the attack. Andy Gregory quick to get things going. It's McGinty who'll charge forward. McGinty going across field, straightens up. Warrington now on the attack. Deep inside 20, Halifax 25. Andy Gregory goes acting half-back. Brings in Bob Jackson. Jackson head down, charges forward. This time it's Boyd, and he's just stopped short. And then he's back, and the referee in fact gives a forward pass. And the scrum down, a couple of yards from the Halifax line. Once again, the scrum causing a lot of problems this afternoon. Ducking all over the place, and Berry will tell them to separate. And he's going to call over Les Boyd. And Nella has a word with him, and the scrum collapses, and another fight, and Berry whistle going. And the referee is sending somebody off. He's sending Les Boyd off, I think. Well, referee is only sending Les Boyd off. Well, Dickinson was also involved, and both will leave the field. And they go off talking to each other. And Les Boyd and Roy Dickinson leave the field here at Thrum Hall in Halifax. So both teams down to 12 men, and Halifax are given a penalty for that incident in the scrum. As Les Boyd and Roy Dickinson leave the field. So no doubt this match is going to boil over even further. Got to be some hard, strong running and tackling now. And no doubt it's going to start now. Goes across to James. James head down. Mike Gregory's in there with McGinty to push him back. McCallion. Good run over that far side by Dixon. Stevens, Anderson. Haig brings in Edie gets his pass away. This time it's Haig to Ricks. Whitfield can't take it. This time on this near side it's Wilf George moving forward. Paul Bishop's there, gets it back to Whitfield. Webb was quickly in with Meadows. McCallion, Anderson, Haig, out to Ricks. And he's stopped in midfield by Andy Gregory. Stevens lines the kick up, and that goes between Rick Thackeray and Brian Johnson into touch over on that far side for another scrum now. And Halifax in possession. Anderson brings in Edie moving forward, caught by Bishop, gets it back. And Ken Kelly hangs on to Anderson. McCallion straightens up, charges forward. Haig this time, moving forward, plays it back to James. James caught by Tamati. McCallion, Haig, a long pass out to Ricks. Ricks cuts in field, Ricks still going, stops over on that far side. Haig this time, 6th tackle then for Halifax, midway inside the Warrington 25. Stevens, Dixon moves forward, and that's 6 tackles, and that's a turnover inside the Warrington 25. Warrington back in possession. Kevin Tamati comes up with the ball, hands it on to Andy Gregory. Gregory moving forward, goes across field. He's stopped by Anderson and swung to the floor. Mike Gregory this time. Got away from one tackle, made a few yards before he was brought down. Gregory once more onto Bob Jackson. Jackson will charge in. Webb back to Bishop. Bishop kicks downfield. Edie goes behind him and he has to go back to retrieve it. Gramey then will move forward onto Riddleston. And Riddleston caught over on that far side. Ricks this time takes place just inside the Warrington half. McCallion, Dixon, short pass there. Nella charging forward. There's a real chance of a try here. Nella's still going. Ryan Johnson stops it with Paul Cullen. There was a 2-to-1 there. Nella and McCallion against Johnson. He tried to go himself, but it's Halifax now with McCallion looking for the hit. Back to George. George trying to charge his way over, but he's on his back. Stopped a couple of yards in short, and Warrington have possession. Will George loses the ball. Kevin Tamati has it, and it's Andy Gregory, and offside against Halifax, and Warrington have a penalty. Bishop then with the kick for touch, puts it in safely on this near side. Bob Jackson, head down. Webb this time onto Tamati. Tamati moving forward, head down, charges in, ball goes loose. James has it, and James now a quick pass over to Anderson. Anderson onto Ricks. Ricks caught by Paul Bishop. This time, going across field is Riddleston. Riddleston still going. Finally straightens up, gets the ball back to Haig. Haig a backhanded pass. Ball goes loose, still loose. And finally it's Andy Gregory who has it. Play will stop for a scrum down. And the linesman's on. But substitution to be made by Halifax. Brian Juliff comes on and Colin Whitfield leaves the field. So a scrum down then as Colin Whitfield leaves the field. Scorer of all Halifax's points so far. It's Halifax 5, Warrington 4. Once again, the scrum turning as Gregory puts the ball in. The scrum turns and the ball goes back with Andy Gregory, who puts it onto Cullen. Cullen breaks 2 tackles and he's stopped by Edie. This time it's Meadows, goes across field, skips 1 tackle. Carl Webb's acting half-back, onto Bishop. Bishop to Gregory. Gregory looking for the gap. He's stopped in the middle of the field. Webb this time. Bishop. McGinty. McGinty moving forward. Ken Kelly. Bishop. Mike Gregory. Mike Gregory, he's stopped in the middle of the field, midway inside his own half. It's 6th tackle, Gregory. Bishop is charged down. Gregory has it. 6 more tackles, and Gregory will move forward. Timed his pass nicely for Meadows. Meadows cuts in field. Meadows still going. Good run from Meadows. 6 more tackles for Warrington inside the Halifax half as that kick was charged down. This time it's Bishop onto Andy Gregory to Bob Jackson. Jackson will straighten up. Turns in the tackle. Still going. Bob Jackson still going. Warrington now pressing, Carl Webb, Tamati coming on the burst, Tamati charging forward, breaks through, gets his pass away to Carl Webb. Carl Webb chasing for the line, just stopped by Ricks. Couple of vicious shots of the Halifax line, good run there from Carl Webb. This time it's Mike Gregory. Out to Tamati, gets his pass into Kelly, quick pass and the ball is dropped over that far side at the crucial minute. Halifax now will clear out of their own 25. Riddlesden will come forward. He's stopped by Bob Jackson and Mike Gregory. Ball is going loose and a knock on, says the referee. And a scrum down midway inside the Halifax 25. Gregory then puts the ball in. Gregory in possession. Bishop brings in Kelly onto Brian Johnson. Johnson moving forward. Escapes a tackle. Brian Johnson going through. Good tackle over from Wilf George, but Warrington now pressing. A lovely move there. This time it's Kelly. Kelly going for himself, going for the line, cuts in field. Cullen out to Bishop. Bishop onto Andy Gregory. Gregory going across field looking for the gap. Just beat one tackle. It was a saving tackle there to bring him down. Paul Bishop goes himself on the play of the ball, looking for the gap, goes across field, still Bishop. Paul Bishop still going, Meadows, the ball goes loose. Still loose, Halifax have it with James, must be a knock on, and it is. The Halifax supporters not liking that decision, but it was obvious that the first player had knocked the ball on, then James had followed in to pick it up for Halifax. So another scrum down inside the Halifax 25. It's Halifax 5, Warrington 4. Once again, these scrums are a big problem this afternoon. As Gary Stevens prepares to feed, he puts the ball in. Warrington in possession with Gregory. Gets it back to Brian Johnson. Johnson goes across field. It's a long pass to Ray Thackeray. Ray Thackeray's going for the corner and he's in! Ray Thackeray scores a lovely pass from Brian Johnson. Warrington take the lead. The try scored of Ray Thackeray. It was a lovely pass from Brian Johnson. A lovely pass from Johnson. And Thackeray took it well, he juggled it once. And he went in the corner and Warrington take the lead at 8 points to 5. And Rick Thackeray's try, Warrington's second of the afternoon, puts Warrington into the lead at 8 points to 5. So Paul Bishop. To try and convert Rick Thackeray's try. Bishop there, left-footed, comes up. He strikes it well. He strikes it beautifully. It's Halifax 5, Warrington 10. So coming up to just under halfway through this second half. Edie restarts. And Bob Jackson misses it. And bounces once and into touch for a scrum down. So this time a scrum down inside the Warrington 25. Once again the scrums turning and wheeling and pushing each other back. Gregory feeds, Warrington in possession. Gregory sends it on to Brian Johnson and Johnson's moving forward, beats his opposite number and Brian Johnson's moving forward onto Mike Gregory. Mike Gregory now back inside to dummies. Mike Gregory still going, he's charging forward, he's got Cullen with him, he's got Meadows and Cullen will go in for a beautiful, fantastic try. What a try from Paul Cullen, right from inside the own 25. It handled, Mike Gregory made the break, it had to get on to Cullen. Cullen raced for the line to score. And Paul Cullen hand in the air. The Warrington fans are delighted. It's Paul Cullen this time who goes over. What a move. Gregory's pass to Johnson. Johnson found the gap. He brought in Mike Gregory. Mike Gregory found a huge gap in the Halifax defence. He had two players to his right, Paul Cullen and Kevin Meadows. He only needed Paul Cullen, and Cullen went over in the corner. And Warrington take the lead 14 points to 5. So Paul Bishop. He struck it well. What a goal, Paul Bishop. Gestures to the crowd. He's come on 2 out of 2, both from virtually near the touchline. It's Halifax 5, Warrington 16. And in the space of 5 minutes, 2 tries and 2 goals have set up that margin. It's Halifax 5, Warrington 16. Edie will restart. Sun in, and once again, Jackson misjudging it. The sun in his eyes, no doubt, shield in his eyes. And once again, the ball beats him. Well, he did that last time, and Warrington scored straight from the scrum. And that's a little bit too much to ask this time. And Halifax are in possession this time. Anderson, penalty to Halifax. Paul Bishop offside. Anderson taps it to Stevens. Stevens brings in Julie. First touch of the ball. He's stopped by Kevin Tamati. Halifax's turn now to attack. And penalty to Halifax. Another one, they take it quickly. This time it's Dixon, head down, trying to charge through. Going left this time. Nello stopped. Good tackle from McGinty. McCallion. Juliff will try and charge over. But there's some good, strong Warrington defence in at the moment. McCallion. Stevens. Anderson. Anderson gets away from one tackle. Gets the ball back to Ricks. Ricks looking for the gap. Tries to get the ball out. It goes loose, and that will be a knock-on, and that won't be a try. So scrum down, right in front of the Warrington posts. And Gregory puts the ball in, and it's Halifax in possession. There's a gap there for Stevens. Bishop stops him as he was going through. Halifax's turn to attack once more. Goes out to Anderson. Anderson short pass to James. James trying to break through. Stopped on his back, just a yard short. And it's a try, there is it. No, a knock on. Dropping the ball over the line. Wilf George. And the referee stops the clock, an injury to a Warrington player. Right on his own line. After Wilf George looked to be over, but just dropped the ball. And the score remains at Halifax 5, Warrington 16. And it looks like it's Billy McGinty who is receiving treatment. He's back on his feet. But looks a little bit groggy as he's tried to stop Wilf George and was successful. So an important scrum now for Warrington to win. Right on their own line virtually. Gregory will feed. Ball goes in. It's Halifax in possession for Stevens. Stevens and Eadie will score. Graham Eadie brings Halifax back into it. The fullback linked up well to go in for a try. 16-9. So it looks like Graham Eady taking over the goal kicks from Colin Whitfield. Just scorer of Halifax's first try of the afternoon. Placing the ball Australian style, slanting towards the goals. He'll run straight at it. Eady, an important kick this one. He comes up, and what a miss. Goes straight across the face of the goals. It's Halifax 9, Warrington 16, which means Halifax still have to score twice if they want to take over the 16 points that Warrington have scored. Halifax 9, Warrington 16. Warrington restart. And bouncing awkwardly for Juliff, but he takes it. And there's some disturbance at the moment over to our left. As Halifax are inside their own 25. Here's Haig. And there's space now here for Will George. Will George still going. He's brought down on this near touch line. Going across field this time with Juliff. Juliff in the middle of the field, brought down by Kevin Tamati. Gary Stevens, slip pass into Anderson. Anderson, the ball goes loose. McCallion has it. Sixth tackle then for Halifax. Still inside their own half. It goes on to Brian Juliff. Juliff, pass on to Haig. Haig stopped by Gregory and Meadows and Cullen. That's 6 tackles and the turnover. Warrington in possession on the halfway line. Andy Gregory onto Bob Jackson. Jackson will charge forward. Carl Webb goes himself on the play of the ball. Makes a couple of yards before he's brought down. Plays it to Andy Gregory, who'll move forward. Turns in the tackle, but couldn't get the ball away. Webb, Bishop, Cullen, onto McGinty, looking for the gap, and he beats one man and still going. Good run from Billy McGinty. This time it's Ken Kelly moving forward, onto Cullen. Cullen cuts inside. Brought down just outside the Halifax 25 for the 6th tackle. Andy Gregory goes in left. Pass on to Thackeray. Thackeray back inside to McGinty over on that far side. Throws it back inside. Kelly tries to kick it on. And it's Halifax who are back in possession. This time it's Juliff moving forward. Stevens cuts inside and clears the 25 before he's brought down. McCallion, Dixon. McCallion acting half back to Stevens. Stevens onto Juliff. Juliff charging forward. He's well tackled though, Carl Webb. Kevin Tamati in the tackle. Gary Stevens. Haig. Haig, a little chip through. Bishop bounced awkwardly for him. Dive down bravely and gets up. A high tackle there on Bishop as he was going through. Meadows goes himself on the play of the ball and moves forward, goes across field. Oh! A high tackle there on Meadows by Brian Juliff, right round the neck. Keith Nellop. Very high tackle there from Nellop. And the ball put into touch to set Warrington up. Gregory takes it, hands it on to Webb. Webb will charge forward, knocks off Juliff. Makes it to the Halifax 25 before he's brought down. Plays it to Andy Gregory. Gregory across to Bishop. Bishop brings in Tamati. Tamati head down. 3 Halifax players have to stop him. Gregory to Jackson. Jackson will charge forward. Bob Jackson charging through. Tamati this time, on to Gregory, to Bishop, run around with Gregory. Gregory moving forward, slip past to Mike Gregory, the ball goes loose. And Halifax back in possession. It's Wilf George who takes it. Gary Stevens, and that's a good strong tackle to bring down Keith Nella. McCallion to Stevens. Stevens onto Juliff. Juliff slip pass there to James. James gets the ball away, goes loose. Picked up by Juliff. Gary Stevens onto Chris Anderson. Anderson, wild pass, it was well taken by Nella. And he's manages to get the ball away to Grant Ricks, but he's well tackled for the 6th tackle. And the kick's charged down. Mike Gregory dives on it bravely. And Halifax back in possession. Billy McGinty there couldn't dive on it. Mike Gregory touched it. Penalty there to Halifax. Guy Stevens seemed to play for that one a little, but the referee gives him the penalty. Paul Bishop alleged to have not been quick enough away from the tackle, as Chris Anderson with the kick for touch puts it safely in over on that far side. So Halifax now trying to come back, they're 16-9 behind. They tap it, Gary Stevens, Anderson brings in Nella. Nella stopped by Andy Gregory and Billy McGinty. McCallion to Dixon. Dixon going through the centre of the field, gets away from a tackle, gets it on to McCallion. McCallion out to Eady. Eady's going for the corner and Eady's in. Graham Eady scores his 2nd try. Halifax 13, Warrington 16. Eady scores his 2nd try. 3 points the difference. So Eady to try and kick this goal from off the touchline, but that will drop short. So 8 minutes remain in this Stones Bitter Championship game. It's Halifax 13, Warrington 16, and Warrington about to make another substitution. Mark Roberts is going to come back onto the field, and Mike Gregory will leave the field. So Warrington will restart, 3 points between the teams. Bishop kicks deep. Neil James now will charge forward. Clears his 25 before he's brought down by Bob Jackson and Kevin Tamati. Dixon. So a strong bit of pressure now being put on Warrington by Halifax. 3 points to difference. Stevens. There'll be a penalty here to Halifax. Mark Roberts a punch in the tackle. And the kick's put safely into touch on this near side. But Halifax is set up on the attack. Stevens, Nella gets it back to McCallion. McCallion straightens up. Stevens goes himself on the play of the ball, stopped by Roberts, brought down. Anderson onto James, James cuts inside, James still going, back pedals, hands it on to Hay. Hay goes backwards and then straightens up. He's stopped by Mark Roberts and Paul Bishop. Tense now, last 5 minutes. Just 3 points between the teams. It's over now to Dixon. Dixon looking for the gap and he's found it. Dixon's charging forward. He loses the ball. What a missed chance there for Halifax. Dixon was right through and dropped the ball, and Warrington about to make another substitution. Carl Webb will come back on, and Mike Gregory, who's just come off, will come back on. You can always see that Carl Webb must be injured to make that decision. Unless some tactical words to Mike Gregory come from the bench. But Carl Webb looks to be injured. Looks like his shoulder. So a scrum down, an important one. The scrum's wheeling all over the place once more. No doubt both sides know they've got to win the scrum. Gregory puts the ball in. And a dive for the ball. Halifax are in possession. Anderson, Juliff straightens up, Juliff still going. McCallion. This time it's Stevens. Stevens is moving forward, gets his pass in. Rick Thackeray, good tackle there. Good tackle there from Rick Thackeray on Wilf George. As there's a 3-to-1 overlap this time. There's a charge coming through from Eder. He stopped inches short. Tension now, unbelievable. He didn't play that properly either. This time it's Anderson. Anderson gets it away to Nello. Nello's stopped short again. 6th tackle. Right on the Warrington line, it goes out to Dixon. Dixon straightens up, throws it back, the ball goes loose. Taken by Juliff. Juliff, a high kick straight up into the air. It's a testing one for Johnson, and Johnson juggles it and drops it. He could have been away there. Brian Johnson just juggled the ball and dropped it at the vital moment.
The Golden Design Award for the Halifax Man of the Match this afternoon goes to number 7, Gary Stevens.
Man of the match, Halifax Man of the Match goes to Gary Stevens, but there's some tense play still to be done here. 16-13, the ball goes in. It came out to Halifax. Referees says it didn't go in correctly. The tension now. Warrington have really been in some tough matches. They had that tough match on Wednesday night against St Helens, and they've been in some close matches also this season. They've got another one on the hands. Penalty to Warrington. Anderson goes to have a word with the referee, and Warrington no doubt will be in no rush to take this. We make it, there's 2 minutes left. Paul Bishop with the kick for touch, and he makes sure over on that far side. Andy Gregory will take it, hands it on to Tamati. Tamati moves forward. Andy Gregory goes himself on the play of the ball. Gregory moving forward out to Thackeray. Thackeray comes back inside. Being pushed back in the tackle. Ken Kelly waits for it. Hands it on to Gregory. Run around with Kelly. Brings in Jackson. Jackson moves forward. Head down. Andy Gregory once more to Paul Bishop. He took it well. Ken Kelly straightens up. Kelly's held. Paul Bishop onto Andy Gregory. Gregory kicks downfield. Looks a good kick, and a lovely kick from Andy Gregory, relieving some of the pressure for Warrington. Into the last minutes or so now. Just 3 points separating the teams. It's Halifax 13, Warrington 16. Ball goes in. Halifax have it. Going across, they're throwing it out now. Grant Ricks moving forward. Dummies stopped by Cullen and Bishop. Good tackle. Neil Haig onto Gary Stevens. Stevens moving forward, looking for a gap, sends it out to Eadie. Eadie back to Stevens, tackled by Ken Kelly. Penalty to Halifax. Anderson with the kick for touch. It's a good one over on that far side. Probably the last attack of the game this will be. And it's Halifax who will mount it. 3 points between the teams. Now in injury time. Just seconds remaining. McCallion will take it, hands it on to Nella. Nella goes across field. Finally brought down in midfield. Now into injury time. Gary Stevens. Good tackle there from Andy Gregory. Along with Mike Gregory. And the ball goes loose, Stevens knocks on. And the excitement stops for a couple of seconds. Seconds remaining. Into injury time we make it. The scrum wheels once more, wheels right round, penalty given to Halifax. They want to take it quickly, and Anderson does. Dixon, Eadie moves forward, straightens up, stopped by Tamati and Johnson. Seconds remain, it's 16-13, what a grandstand finish. Wilf George to Gary Stevens, he didn't look ready for it, but he does look ready now. Beats a tackle, takes place at the 1-25. McCallion plays it back to Anderson. Anderson's going through the middle, he dummies, stopped by Mike Gregory. He's still making ground towards the Warrington line. Real pressure now on Warrington. We've played some injury time at the moment. Here's James. James straightens up, throws the ball loose. The ball goes loose. And there he says, there's the final hooter. Warrington win by 16 points to 13. There's the final hooter. Warrington are victorious here at Thrum Hall this afternoon, beating champions Halifax by 16 points to 13. Halifax's points, 2 tries from Graham Eadie, 2 goals from Colin Whitfield and a drop goal. Warrington tries from Cullen, Thackeray and Roberts, 2 goals from Bishop. Makes the final score here at Thrum Hall in Halifax. Halifax 13, Warrington 16. And as the teams go off, it's a jubilant Warrington side who will have a pleasant trip no doubt across the Pennines, having been victorious here in a very hard, tough game. The police seem to be escorting the referee off the field, getting some abuse from the Halifax fans. But it's a good day for Warrington. They are victorious here at Thrum Hall.